With that said, it is my great pleasure to introduce our speaker today, Bruna Oliveira, who is a PhD candidate in education at the Federal University of Sergipe, pardon my rolling of the G's, and a visiting researcher here at the University of Waterloo. She's been researching topics involving children's engagement with digital games, children's playful experiences with digital technologies, children as content producers, and research methodologies involving children in the digital era. And I'll just say that it's been a pleasure to invite her, to welcome her here, and to ostensibly work with her, although I will admit that my recent duties as chair of my department have prevented me from working with her as much as I would like to. But the conversations that we've shared and the intellectual interest and acuity that she has displayed have really been inspiring, and so I'm happy to welcome her to Waterloo and to introduce her talk today. So without further ado, I'll turn it over to Bruna.
Thanks so much, Professor Jared. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to Professor Jared for his and everyone here at TDI, including those who are participating through the virtual space. I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to discuss my research, particularly in sharing what children are engaged in the digital environment. So I'm going to talk about how I built a connective ethnography with children engaged in the digital age. So before I start, I would like to share something. When I was invited for this talk, I was a little bit apprehensive because English is not my native language, and besides that, it's my first time going abroad and trying to practice my English speaking skills. However, I noticed that today is not about me. It's about sharing what children are really doing. It's about to represent every child in my research and the problems I do my best. So this is Pia. She is not a participant in the research, but she was the sister of one of the participants and was always with us. This photo represents how wonderful it is to research with children and how they make my world better. I'd like to start showing where I'm from. So I'm from Brazil, I'm Brazilian. I was born and raised in São Paulo, and I moved to Sergipe to do my master's degree. And also I'm currently doing my PhD. So a little bit about my academic life. I have a degree in pedagogy. I have a master's degree in education. I am a second-year PhD candidate in education at Federal University of Sergipe. I'm a member of research group entitled Education and Digital Culture, had my Brazilian supervisor called Simone Lucena. I'm here at University of Waterloo as an exchange student through a Canadian scholarship called Emerging Leaders in the American Program, supervised by Professor Jared Voorhees. My research has been focused on children exploring digital games, playful experiences with digital technologies, children as content producers, research methodology with children in the digital age. So as a result, I have some publications involving children's performance in the digital space, what they are producing in the digital environment, the way they are exploring socialization strategies, the ways of interacting, the contents they learn through the game experience. Beyond my academic life, I'm a huge fan of anime. My favorite one is One Piece. And recently I decided to give a chance for games in mobile version because all because of the children in my research. So my favorite right now, for now, is Call of Duty. And about the research stage, so the step 1 was develop a dissertation project. The step 2, authorization from university as well as from parents and children in order to implement field meetings. The step 3, writing the research methodology and present to research qualified committee. And I'm here, step 4, trying to analyze the data and writing the next chapter. And the last step is to be dissertation presentation. When I start talking about the protagonism of children over the years, I always started thinking about my own childhood and ask people, how was yours? What do you remember about your childhood regarding gaming, for example? About TV, in my childhood, I didn't have a smartphone, for example. But the TV was the first device that I used to have at home. So I remember waiting for my favorite cartoon or trying to find some DVD version involving anime, etc. The second was the console, and at the time it used to be very expensive. I used to say still it is because of this, all children in my family decided to share this device with children in our neighborhood. At the time, it was really fun, and I'm very happy to explore the world of games because, in addition to learn English and do various narrative, I also felt like I was in other place. But I also remember playing in a traditional way. However, nowadays, childhood is not like our childhood was. The dynamics have been changing over the years. They are sharing moments with peers in physical space, but they are also sharing moments with peers about and inside the digital space. How are children occupying the digital space now? So with advancements in mobility, portability of devices such as tablets, smartphones, iPads, so on, with these tools linked to the internet from anywhere, they can choose when to go online, what to do, what to read, and how to do it. Digital technology have increasingly become part of children's interactions, especially in family environments. Since early life, children are already born into environments with digital devices in everyday interaction. Babies are already looking at cameras, trying to touch and bite devices with curiosity. This type of contact is called passive interaction because the parents don't have the intention to give their device for the child. Over the years, parents noticed that child learn and development process and provide active mediation with electronic device. And probably parents will give their own device. In this contact, children attribute other meanings to their routines. How do Brazilian children experience the digital world? I brought a research called ICT Kids Online Brazil Survey. It was published in the last year, but was finished in 2022. So the ICT Kids Online Brazil is a study that investigates the online behavior of Brazilian children, including their internet access, usage, and experiences. The numbers have shown that 92% of population from 9 to 17 were internet users in the country. The smartphone is the main device for children to access the internet. Among the users, 87% listen to online music, 82% watch videos, programs, movies, or series online, 80% look up information for schoolwork, 70% download application, 58% played games online with other friends. 86% reported having a profile on at least one social network. In the age group of 9 to 10, 54 have profile on WhatsApp, 42 on TikTok, 23 on Instagram, 18 on Facebook, and 2% on Twitter. For ages between 11 and 12, 76% have a profile on WhatsApp, 66% on TikTok, 50% on Instagram, 7% on Twitter, and 80% on Snapchat. 59% age between 9 to 10 reported to have played online connected with other players. The proportion were 6 to 1% for users aged between 11 to 12. The survey also indicates that the practice of playing games online has increased. Despite of being working with children who actually have the opportunity to explore digital environment, not every child has the same opportunity in Brazil. Unfortunately, we have economic inequality. So the results show that 1.2 million children reported not having access to the internet, while 940,000 stated that they had never accessed the internet before. We also have types of exclusion. So in dynamics of using, not every child has the opportunity to play on a console, computer, or have their own device. In types of access, many children who don't have quality internet connection to home seek out content that can be accessed offline, such as games. About access point, not all families have internet connection, so the child seeks connection points in public or private location. So the access points are not always the same. The motivation of my research involved the increased presence of children in the digital space with smartphones, depending of blaming technology for various aspects involving children. We have this type of panic before, involving TV, video games, etc. The choice of methods that allow paying attention to what they are really doing according to their own perspective. The research gets focusing on children's cultural production in the digital environment. Children in the digital age are trying the constant presence in the virtual space, navigating through different content, accessing various games, websites, etc. They have the opportunity to play anywhere, watching cartoons, taking photos, recording videos, calling or send a text message to friends, inviting them to play. These are situations experienced by children in their cultural practice and production. They are trying to occupy the digital world in a different way, assigning new characteristics, exploring the maximum amount of content, building other ways to play, and try to establish their place in the digital cultures. Children's digital cultures are made of social practices and productions that are also performed in the digital space. In this context, the instinct of cultural production and childhood takes on new densities and new characteristics. So approaching the research, I had to pay attention about ethical issues. So this research was approved by ethical committee in my university. The study was authorized by the parents and the children as well, who signed all the required documents. The participating children are between 7 and 12 years old, and they use their device for playtime. So if you like anime, probably you know all these characters. So here are Luffy, Goku, Nezuko, Sakura, R2, Zoro, Nami, Hinata, Naruto, Robin, Vegeta, all the participants in the research. So based on sociology of childhood and the childhood studies, the proposition with home in Portuguese is always highlighted to emphasize that research always happens with them. According to Corsaro, it's not just about being with them. Research happens alongside them, working together throughout the investigation. They are capable of understanding what scientific research entails, and as well as a result, they begin to contribute by providing information and asking about the stage of the study. So here are some speech quotes illustrating how they got involved in the study. So Goku said, "I enjoyed doing the research. I want it to last longer, so you can stay with us as long as you want. The research seems important, and I'm happy to participate." As Luke said, there are many candidates for the research. Everyone wants to participate. I'm explaining to everyone what the research is about. Luke said, "I've invited one more friend to enjoy the study. I'm talking to everyone because I know the research is important. However, to achieve children's engagement with information for the research, it's necessary to build a relationship of trust and a friendship with children, because develop a friendship allows the children to feel comfortable and show what they are doing, the acceptance of my presence in the physical space, and their invitation to observe the virtual space, deepening my participation in the interaction as well. So it's possible to record, describe, and interpret multiple contexts in which children are immersed. So they invited me to follow them on social network like on Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore, guys. Sorry, I'm not getting used. And TikTok, Instagram, WhatsApp, and also play online with them. So I decided to adopt connective ethnography, focusing on recording the diversity of interaction and visualize using information as interconnected pathways. The connection between inside and outside the digital space happen all the time. It allows connecting and being part of the interactions carried about research participants in both physical and virtual space. Considering that children's interactions occur in both physical and online space, it's necessary to record the movements interconnect all the time. Hani shows that exploring the connections between various activities offers a broad understanding of engagement in cultural production, allows for a thick description, implement consistent field notes, and focusing on a variety of connections allows us to see information as a web of association. So for data collection, I adopted observation, field diary, informal conversations, audio recording, photos, and screenshot. What are the participant children accessing the digital space? They are accessing a social network like WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram, games in general, Roblox, Among Us, Pokemon Go, etc. And various websites involving game or not. If they have the opportunity to play through websites, normally they will access, as well as looking for information about the game. Here are some games exported on the Roblox platform. I'm still counting, but there are already over 25 games exported on Roblox during the meeting. So Mid City, Facto Simulator, Pet Simulator, King Legacy, etc. Other games explored outside of Roblox, I'm still counting as well, but there are already over 6 games exported during the meetings. Here are Sonic Dash, Free Fire, Fortnite, Minecraft, Among Us, so on. The observation happened both in digital space and in the physical space where children were playing together. Here I am observing and at the same time playing with them in the physical space. Here we are playing from our own home, but together in the virtual space. It's me with Robin here, and it's me with Goku and Arthur here. They created a WhatsApp group to send information for research and to sharing about the games. So Goku here was sharing something about a game. Nezuko was calling for someone to play with her. Sakura was playing with a friend from another state in Brazil. And Luffy was playing Fear Legends and recorded and sent it. I was paying attention in all the content shared on WhatsApp group. So Luffy said, we created a group and everything cool we do, we send it there. For example, if you are playing a game, you record it and send it. So there are some information here about involving Roblox or playing with PS2 or sending a link sharing about some game or calling someone for game or play together, sorry. Here, a list of games Goku was playing at the time, and Nezuko here playing Roblox, Sakura Roblox again. I also pay attention to what they posted on WhatsApp status. So Goku here was sharing about studying math. Nezuko, I played with my best friend today. And Goku was sharing something about school here. They are posting content about the games too. So Goku was sharing about the game Subway Surfers. Sakura was sharing about Roblox. They are sharing about various topics as well. So Sakura here was sharing something about SpongeBob, her favorite cartoon. Hinata was calling for her best friend, and Goku was sharing doing homework. So like a puzzle, we have to interconnect all the pieces of information because online practice are increasingly embedded in offline practice and vice versa. Therefore, it's necessary to interconnect the information across virtual and real space. Here, Goku was trying to teach the others in the group how to play the game Subway Surfers on the day before. After arriving home, he posted a video explaining the game. Furthermore, he also posted an audio about his experiences with the game. Here, they were talking about the game Cuphead. So Goku said, "How did you manage to download Cuphead?" Proof, it's easy. Download it on your phone. I will send the link in the group and everyone can download it so you can play together. Goku, all right, I will try to download it at home where the connection is better and you will play another day. So Luffy sent the file in the group, in the WhatsApp group, and Goku showed that the next day he had downloaded and he was playing. So he said, I killed the boss. And they start in the next 2 days, they started playing together. Here they were playing the game Stopouts at the playground earlier. Hours later, Nezuko posted on WhatsApp status. It's written, I played with my best friends today. So they were talking about here the game for the Fortnite game. Nezuko asked it, how do you play Fortnite? We'll say Fortnite's free, but it's not available on every model. So I have a website and you can play online. So I've sent the link to the group. You can play several games without downloading them. You can play Minecraft and the others. So here is the link sent on WhatsApp group. The following day, Luffy said, let's play Fortnite, please, let's play Fortnite. Goku said, I don't know how to play Fortnite. Luffy said, I'll teach you. So Goku, I saw the link you sent it and registered it with it. So Nezuko, finally, you learned how to play. So here they were playing Fortnite together. Being in the digital space allows children learning opportunity, socialize and connect with peers, fostering friendship and collaboration, enrich cultural practice, they enhance their own ways of producing digital culture, engaging in different types of activities, making new connections, exploring online game culture and a variety of content, expanding the play spaces. So based on the possibilities available in virtual world, and in their protagonism, they create roles and engaging in activities by carrying out about reinterpretation of reality. And build a new process socialization during playful activities while playing with their peers. So data analysis in progress. My acknowledgement go for every child in my research. Some references. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Bruna. And I think we'll open it up to questions at this point. If you have a question online, feel free to raise your virtual hand or to just type something in the chat. And we'll get to that. If you have a question in person, of course, just feel free to raise your hands. Maybe I'll start out while people are digesting and sort of thinking about their own questions. I'm curious. There really seems to be a lot of like lateral learning, right? Young people teaching other young people how to play games, how to use technologies, how to download and register, right, for these online sites and games, etc. Do you how would you characterize these interactions? Often in mainstream gaming culture, particularly in North America, that sort of lateral learning is often characterized by power imbalances, where people claim the status of expertise, and that right is treated as a sort of a social status and used to right claim authority, claim power, claim the ability to exclude or include different people right in those activities. Do you see any of that right in these children's activities? And depending on your answer, I have a follow-up, I think.
Thank you, Professor Jared. They are learning a lot, and I was really impressive because they are learning content. They are learning about the interface as well. For example, I remember they discussing about all the techniques about the game. So I sent for a friend in area about computer science. He said, no, it's not possible. A child learning some techniques terms about this. And they are learning a lot. And for example, English, they don't have any difficulty to understand a video, for example. And comparing to me, who grew up with console, and when I started to try to play with them from mobile version games, I was terrible. I'm still terrible, but right now I'm better. And I believe that they are developing new skills. So, yeah.
It sounds like their play is fairly egalitarian. Like they don't try to derive status from one person playing better than another or anything along those lines.
No, there are competition. One time when they start to play Free Fire, especially if it were girls. Okay, I believe it was Sakura. In some states was winning. The boys, oh, okay, he's winning. She have to teach us. So yeah, it's better. The competition, there is a positive side because they normally teach to each other.
Okay. And I do see we have a question online, but I did want to follow up. Again, that's curious, right, in relation to mainstream adult gaming culture, where you do see that sort of the abuse of expertise, right, and the use of skill to sort of create hierarchies, right, and say we're better than you or not, right. So I wonder if you could speculate, like, is there something about children's culture, or perhaps about the context in which these children are playing, that's different from that mainstream gaming culture?
Yeah, definitely. And I noticed that they are using different platforms just for improve the way they are playing. For example, the way they're using WhatsApp is not like as adults use. So, for example, they call to each other, okay, we are in a call right now, we have to share about the game. So, TikTok, for example, they are use TikTok to looking for information about the game. And I believe that comparing to adults is really different. They attribute a different meaning. So they are producing digital culture in a different way, definitely.
Yeah, it's really nice to see the escaping those very adult worries and anxieties and constraints.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They subvert everything.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's very carnivalesque even. There is a question from online. Would somebody mind reading that for us?
Yes. So it says, hi, is from Jess. She heard. Hi, thanks so much for your presentation. Can you share the slide or reference about approaching research with comms of children? Was it Castaro 2019? She says, I'd love to hear more about it. about this positionality/methodology?
Yeah. Thank you for asking. So I remember I adopted just ethnography because when I was finishing my master's degree, I just made ethnography with children under 5 years old. And normally they didn't invite me to play. It was really different. So I believe they grow up and they increase the intensity in digital environment. And they are exploring more games online, sharing with friends. And I believe, okay, I decided to adopt ethnography as well in my PhD. But when I saw me in the field, okay, it's not just ethnography. There are more because I'm trying to see all the data from TikTok, for example, WhatsApp, and I was looking for some technique inside ethnography to see all the data together. So I found connective ethnography, technique inside ethnography to connect all the pieces of information. So a child probably will talk about a game with a friend in person, but they can share something online as well. So all the information are interconnected. That's it.
And would you mind bringing us back to that slide? I think the online audience wanted to see the citation on that.
Yeah, no problem. I can send.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. Is the reference right now? It's right now or
Well,
not?
the reference to the
Let me see.
ethnography as comb, as with.
Let me put it here. Sorry.
Perfect. Yeah.
I maybe I can read it. So from Kimmy, thanks, Bruna. Impressive presentation. I'm curious about the notion of connective ethnography. Is this the theoretical contribution of the study? If so, is there any uniqueness to this notion by comparing it with conventional ethnography methods? Do you have any suggestions for the further application of this concept? Yeah, so can you talk a little bit more about the connected dynamic of the ethnography?
Let me see. When we're trying to use traditional ethnography in our research involving digital environment, it's really difficult because we are in the online environment as well. We can be online and in person with them. So when you're trying to pay attention to all the information coming to different moments, we have to interconnect them. I have more data, but I didn't bring everything here. For example, let me see. Here they were talking in person. They weren't playing at the time, just talking about the game. So when they start to play the game, the reason was because they were sharing something about the game. So we have to interconnect all the performance inside digital environment and outside. So it's a technique adopted inside traditional ethnography.
And just to clarify, so the connectedness is connecting social practices in games, in social media, in real life. So connecting those different medialities.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for that. Yeah. Before we go to the next online question, are there any questions from the in-person audience? Oh, yeah, from the side.
Okay, so I saw in a couple of the slides, the children were sharing APKs together, which are packages of software. So I wanted to know if there's any security concerns that might arise.
Yeah. At the time I had no idea what APK was, and I'm still learning about this. They normally are trying to download this type of game because games are really expensive. So normally the parents know what they are doing, And in Brazil, the politician trying to develop some rules about this. And the most reason is online games are very expensive. And it's because of this, they know a lot of techniques about download some games, etc. So I confess that I'm still learning about this type of game, and but they are exploring a lot in Brazil. It's like a subvert something. I don't how to pay a game, so I have to download APK just for have the experience.
Yeah. And just to follow up on that, are parents typically accomplices in this, or do they monitor and police their children? Because we're talking about pirated games, for better or worse, right?
Yeah.
Games that they're not paying for. So do children end up having to sort of keep their parents at a distance and keep their play secretive, or is it an open secret and the parents are very...
There is no secret. Normally they notice what they are learning inside the games. Technical concept is how to play. Normally the parents, okay, my child is learning something here.
Yeah.
So normally they supervise it, but they don't forbid to explore this type of game, for example. And yeah, the parents allow. There is no secret.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So another question online from Joe. He says, thanks for the talk, Bruna. Theoretical comment, optional if you want to comment. But it's framed as a question. What are your thoughts on how to do, what are your thoughts on how do you think these interconnected performances might shape children's social and emotional development in the long term? For instance, e.g., how digital platforms continue to develop and change. You know, how might these interconnected performances shape children's long-term development?
Oh,
it's a very big question.
Yeah. Let me see if I can answer. Let me see interconnected performances to the social. Let me see. I believe that they feel part of something when they have the opportunity to be inside, for example, a platform. Roblox, for example, they are playing online together. So you are here, okay, you can play with me right now. They start playing, and for example, see status from a friend, for example, teaching you how to play a specific game. You are being part of something. If you are not part of the WhatsApp, for example, you will not see this type of information. So being inside, for example, TikTok, WhatsApp, Instagram, and online game, they are really interconnected. So if they don't have this opportunity, they will not be part of something. They will lost something. Definitely.
And if I could follow up on that, this sort of reminds me of, is it Douglas Rushkoff that talks about he's sort of an academic, sort of a futurist. So sort of is an academic, but he mostly writes for the popular press. And he talks about how children who grew up in it, he was writing 20 years ago, and he's talking about how children who grow up in digital environments are inherently more distracted than previous generations. Like they move between different medias and between different conversations more quickly than people from previous generations. And he talks about this as both something that older generations find disturbing, but in fact is a valuable skill. Do you see this sort of playing in three different spaces, playing in a game while also being on a call, while also having somebody next to you who's also playing? Do you see that kind of shifting between those spaces happening here? And if so, do you see that in other parts of Brazilian society, or is this something that just the kids are doing right now?
Yeah, especially children. We don't have the same ability as adults. I am really impressive because they can use more than one platform and still talk to you at the same time. I don't have this type of attention, despite of not being part of my approach. But I can say that they are learning a lot, and it's the reason that parents allowing them to play, because they notice how they are learning inside the different platforms. Yeah, definitely. So they are learning, for example, language. They have facility. For example, if they don't find, for example, some video on TikTok or YouTube in Portuguese, they will looking for in totally in English, and they don't have any difficulty, for example. So I believe they are learning, especially techniques about the narratives, about how work all the platforms.
Great, thank you for that. I think we have one more question online. Yeah, okay. So this question is from Jen. And thank you for such a great presentation, smiley face. It was really interesting and inspiring, especially in seeing the progression into connected ethnography evolving from the traditional approach. Did you notice any different cultural behavior or interaction between the participants depending on what game they were playing? So games not including game-specific jargon. Or perhaps put differently, did you notice that the game affected their emic or intergroup relationships, or did the interactions stay relatively consistent no matter what they were playing? Yeah.
Let me see. Sometimes they are really competitive, depending on the game. I believe Free Fire was the most impressive at the time because they were competing to each other, and but they also at the same time was teaching to each other inside the group. But depend on the game, and I'm here at DI just trying to learn more about the games because there are many differences about the games. So yeah, if for example, Roblox, they normally don't, let me see, start a competition. I don't know why, but I remember about Free Fire. Yeah, there were like a competition at the time. So yeah, but they still keep to each other, trying to teach something, and going to the next day together.
Great, so much. Any last questions from the audience or from online? Any last questions, maybe? Yeah.
Like with like social media and like the games and like Roblox, there was a lot of things change very fast. So like, how do you kind of like keep up and like stay current with like the games that they're playing and like with the trends that they're seeing and like like how that impacts them?
Sorry, let me see if I understand. The difference when they see updates the game side. Normally they follow all the updates. They know a lot. Yeah, definitely. Roblox is the most famous between them, and they normally knows. For example, I believe they found a game called PUBG. It's almost similar to Free Fire. They they know the difference. Okay, PUBG, there is something here. I don't know the technical terms, but okay, it's the difference between them. I prefer PUBG because of this, and I don't know Free Fire because of this. All the advertising, for example, and they know the difference. I believe there was another game called Among Us, and another was Supersus, almost similar. They were discussing about, okay, the difference between them. So they are learning this type of thing. They follow all the updates.
So maybe before turning to Joe's last question, which I think is a great one, maybe one last question for me, a methodological one. Are there any tools that you use to keep track of your data between these different modalities? To keep track of the data between what they're saying and what they're doing in the game and what they're saying and online and other social media spaces and in person. How do you do that other than a note and a very fast pen hand?
In the traditional way, recording audio.
Yeah.
And I found them on social media. So I took some screenshots, and sometimes it was hard to follow all the publications because it was all the day, and I have to take all the status right now. So at the time, I didn't find a specific tool for the data, so I was just trying to use in a traditional way, like us trying to do ethnography. Yeah, and I'm still learning about it, so I hope I found it soon.
Yeah, thank you. And then I think this is a great last question. What is your favorite game? And maybe that could be in two senses. What is your favorite game? And also, what is your favorite game that you've observed the subjects, the participants playing?
It's hard to think about my favorite game because I started to play games when I was a kid. My first one was Ninja Gate, don't judge me. But I started to play a game because of the children research. It was not fair if I didn't know how to play. So right now, the mobile version, my favorite is Call of Duty, like I said, but I also like Roblox too. Let me see. Yeah, Call of Duty, definitely. They don't play Call of Duty, but especially because they don't have so much space inside the device, but it's my favorite one. And the last game, kids were sharing something. Let me see. It was The Ball Guys. Yeah. I was terrible, but I learned. I have the opportunity to learn.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Bruna. Thank you for the talk. It's really exciting to learn about the research that you're doing. I hope that your time here at Waterloo and the Games Institute can help you learn more about those game forms, right? And how games researchers understand them impacting play practices and the player experience. And yeah, I wish you the best of luck as you delve into the analysis of all this data. Thank you so much, Bruna.